Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 men that are doing this work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth. And much love to the 130 you believers out there. I'm the brother Yeshaya, and I pray, Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. All right, man, America is going down. All right, it's going down, and it's really at a fast rate, man. It's so many things really occurring in the spirit right now at one time. But as I was searching around trying to find something to do a lesson on, I stumbled across this article from MoneyWise, which is basically like a financial website and magazine, a credible source from about finances. Well, what's ever credible about finances? But y'all know what I'm saying. But this is something that Elon Musk has stated, and ultimately, does he have some decent ideas? Yeah, but he's an Edomite, you know what I'm saying? He's through. He's trying to bring forward the Neuralink and the C-hip, so he's through ultimately. But that doesn't mean sometimes he doesn't say some factual things. It says his line was, and I guess this was probably like a tweet or something, but he says, America is going bankrupt. Elon Musk issues a warning as interest on U.S. debt was equal to 76% of income tax collected in June and is expected to exceed 1.14 trillion this year. Does Congress know? So, that's a statement, man. America is going bankrupt, right? And a warning that interest on U.S. debts was equal to 76% of income tax. So that means you're nearly at the point where the money you're receiving, you're basically you're in debt more than the money that you're even given to try to collect back payment on it, right? All right, exceeding 1.14 trillion. We already be talking about it's $35 billion. They say it's going to exceed 1.14 trillion. So America is broke, beyond broke. America is in the negative extremely, man. All right, and if this was a person, like imagine you knew this as an individual, right? You'd be like, man, that dude owes me money. I can't count him for anything. And ultimately, if this was in a movie or something, you're gonna expect the guys who he paid money to come and break his fucking legs or cement, feed his ass and throw him into the ocean, man. All right. It says rising national debt has long been a pressing issue in America, and it has caught the attention of Tesla CEO Elon Musk. America is going bankrupt, by the way. Musk wrote in a recent post on the social media platform X, which is Twitter. He was responding to a post by Billy Marcus, the creator of Dogecoin. It says Marcus' post included a screenshot of a headline reading, interest payments on U.S. national debt will shatter 1,140,000,000,000 this year, or 1.14, actually 1.14 trillion, eating 70, all them damn zeros, eating 70% of all income taxes included. He added a comment expressing his dismay. I'm glad 70% of the income tax I pay goes directly to important things like interest on past government incompetence. So the money we're sending is going because they are keep continuously failing, man. And this is just prophecy showing its face, man. Right? So it says, how bad is it? Let's take a closer look at the numbers. All right. But before I get these numbers, I want to get a quick precept. All right. Obviously, the first precept that came to my mind. This is Habakkuk 2:6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, right? That's Esau, Edom, right? That's America. They're increasing in something that's not theirs. That money that they're so far in the negative, where y'all getting that from? You see, it's not backed by gold. They're just pumping it out, to the point where your dollar is being so devalued where it has no monetary value. They're just pushing it out, print some more, print some more, print some more. And it's getting reduced and reduced and reduced. Your prices are going up because your dollar means less. Shit. Your dollar feel like it's only worth 30 cents about right now when you go into the store and buy stuff, man. Right? It says, woe to them that increaseth that which is not his. And Esau has done that with literally this country itself. You know, this country don't belong to him, man. All right? This country started off belonging to the Israelites. But the Lord don't want us to have this place either. He wants to show, since Esau ruled here, this is where his pinnacle of his wicked glory was. The Lord gonna destroy it. It says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? So if you think about this metaphorically, right, and visually, imagine a man that's in quicksand, and I guess quicksand is the answer itself, but he's just putting that clay on himself, just more and more. And what's happening? You know, usually you try to fight yourself out of it, but he's like adding it on because he has no choice, right? And so you just seeing him move slower and slower and slower, but then eventually that clay, that quicksand is gonna consume him, man, to the point where he can't fucking breathe. You know, we watching Apocalypto a couple weeks ago, and there was a point where Jaguar Paw fell in some quicksand, and muddy black quicksand. And you know, if it wasn't for the Lord, obviously, and him grabbing that branch, he wouldn't have been able to pull himself out. But the thing is, Babylon is not going to have. It says Babylon shall not be healed. Right? So it's not going to have a branch to pull out. It's not going to have a safe haven. It's not going to have a point where it's going to save him from this thick clay, man. He laid himself. And so this constant heavy debt that this country has is just getting worse and worse and worse. And the people see it, but they're just, you know, so what? I spent $200 more at the grocery store than I normally do. No big deal. You know, my car insurance is going through the roof. No big deal. My rent is getting outrageous. No big deal. Right? Going back to the article, it says, which is the Lord, it is a big deal. It's definitely a big deal. It says he pointed out a striking detail. In June 2024, the U.S. government spent 140.238 billion on interest for Treasury debt securities. For context, the government collected 184.910 billion in individual income taxes that same month. So that's only about 40 billion more on income taxes, which in the schemes of a country, that's not as much money as you think. It's not like, oh, 40 billion, but it's not as much money as you think. It's you know what I'm saying? That's like you got to pay an extra $500 for your rent or something. Like it's not, it's a country. So and they're dealing in, while we deal in fives and 20s and hundreds, they dealing in millions and billions and now trillions. You see? It says that means that an amount equivalent to 76% of June's individual income tax revenue is used solely for interest payments on the national debt, not including principal repayment. So they'll come at you, your car payment, right? They'll come at you for your car payment. You paying just on the interest, right? You're not paying on the principal repayment. You know, and they'll come at you and telling you they'll come and repo your car and give you problems. But here they are. They're paying interest just on the national debt, just on the interest payments that they had. And as a country, these numbers are much, much larger. Okay. It says Anthony expressed his concern about America's fiscal change in post on X, writing interest on the federal debt was equal to 70.6. It says, does Congress even care? All right. It was one more pointer here that I wanted to say, but it says be prepared. All right. It says be prepared. The reality is, while the U.S. has long boasted a strong and expanding economy, which all these presidents do, we hear from Donald Trump, we hear from Kamala Harris, we hear from sleepy, creepy Joe Biden. They always talk about how the economy is the strongest it's ever been, but we got some stats coming up that shows it's just getting weaker and weaker and worse. Right? It says the reality is, while the U.S. has long boasted a strong and expanding economy, its national debt has been also rising at an alarming pace. You see, so when something is rising like that, debt at an alarming pace, that means it needs to be taken notice, because if not, this place is going to drown. And really, it's not going to drown. It's going to burn, man. America is going to burn by way of thermonuclear fire, man. So they debt really don't matter. But ultimately, the implementation of the C-hip implant is going to come. They're now, Donald Trump's talking about CBDCs and how that's not going to happen, which he's on board for that. You know what I'm saying? But he's talking about Bitcoin now. But they're trying to enter the digital age so they can implement that C-hip. But this is Revelation 18:1. It says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." Right? So this is going to be the destruction of Babylon, but Babylon has fallen. Like, this is an all-time low. This trillions of dollars in debt. Right? This is an all-time low, man. All right. And it's only going to get worse. And your average day American, I was talking to this chick today, telling her how bad things are going to get. Let me say woman. My auntie hates when I say it's chick. But hey, it is what it is, auntie. But this woman today, and I was telling her, we got into a conversation. She asked me, it started talking about women sharing men, but then, I didn't want to go there, and I was like, "Do you really want to have this conversation?" And she was like, "Yeah, I do." So then, I basically told her it's about to be the worst times ever in America, and basically, women are going to start wanting to share men that have greater value, and a lot of other men are going to be going into war and things like that, martial law. I was giving her a little summary breakdown, and she stated, well, and her response was, "Poor women." That was her thing. So, hey, you gonna be one of the women who, I was like, you don't want to happen to the women. I said those women are that's with those men that's sharing a man are gonna be blessed and smart. I said you don't want to hear about the women that don't. I ain't want to tell her Mike is 7 to 10. You're gonna be trotting down like the mire in the street. But then after that, she said, "Well, I don't. That stuff is irrelevant to me because I live my life with peace and happiness, and God is covering me." After that, I said something else, but I was like, all right, let's just change the subject. So, but she's through. She's through. And she's thinking that America is gonna last forever. All of these women be thinking America, they talking about, I got women talking about retirements and living a good life and all this kind of stuff. This shit is about to be a rude awakening, man. It's about to be a rude awakening. But going on, it says to illustrate, U.S. federal government debt stood at 5.77 trillion at the start of 2000. More than doubled to 12.77 trillion by the beginning of 2010 and escalated to 23.22 trillion at the start of 2020. Okay, it says the most increase has been particularly starting with the national debt. Right, I said 35 billion. It was 35 trillion. With the national debt reaching 34.94 trillion per the latest figures from the Treasury Department. Right, so it's going to be 1.14 trillion by for the current fiscal year. So excuse me, earlier I said 35 billion. I knew it was trillion, but that number just increased. It threw me off when it said 1.14. But that's a higher number, right? That's all. That's like having $34 compared to $114. Just to give you a lower estimate to be able to see it. So that's an large amount of money, man. It says when the project number is substantial, Anthony remains skeptical. He suspects that the fiscal challenges could be even greater, right? And it's gonna end in collapse. And look, that's what I'm saying. Regardless with this presidential thing, regardless of what's going on with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, you know, do I care about who really wins? No, I don't. Now, it is going to be some woman worship if she wins, but that's going to be a quick downfall if that, Lord willing. They put a woman into the house when the house is on fire. Go ahead, give her the job, and then say it's the reason because the woman's the reason it failed. When all of these terrible Edomites have brought on the fall of this place, you know what I'm saying? But this is the Lord's judgment, okay? This is the Lord's judgment. Oh man, Bill, I just saw another alert. Bill Gates says he now owns 1 out of every 4,000 acres of U.S. farmland. Why has he taken such a big position? 1 out of every 4,000? Oh man, this is the worst time ever, man. It's about to get bad, man. It's about to get bad, and these people have no idea, man. Revelation 1:18-5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity. So the Lord knows what you Edomites did. He knows what you wicked two-thirds have done. He know what these heathen has done. And he's coming to collect his check. He's coming to Esau writing a check that his ass can't cash, man. And this place, the Most High has remembered the wickedness of America. All of this homosexuality, this debt, this murder, this death, this adultery, this usurping authority over men, this wickedness, this perverse place is about to be brought down. And Heavenly Father has seen all of it. He's watching the whole show, man. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double. How much has she lived? Has she glorified herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her. And that's the way of America. But even, like I said, these women think that too. Though she live in pleasure, she is dead while she liveth. So they glorify themselves. They live deliciously. That I'm average American thinking everything's all right. We live in a good life. But in the twinkle of an eye, right? It's going to be, like it says, the men of the Lord are all going to be changed. America is going to be changed too. And it's going to be made for the worse, the complete opposite of the men of the Lord. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. America think they're untouchable, man. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord, power who judgeth her, man. All right, so in 1 hour is thy mighty judgment come. The Lord is about to destroy America, but first he's going to do it by different ways from the inside, destroying this place gradually. And then the ultimate, the finale is going to be the fireworks, the missiles of Yahweh Shem Shah sent from other nations to destroy this place, man. But that debt is getting worse and worse and worse. And what do you think that means for you everyday citizens? All right, it's going to be a big problem, man. This is why you got to believe in Yahweh Shem Shah, because he says you store your shekels in heaven. He going to give you a defense in a time of trouble. He going to give you food. He going to give you water. He going to give you rejoicing. Right. But these people are going to get a sorrow of heart. These people are going to get vexation of spirit. These people are going to be troubled. They're going to be sad. They're going to be destroyed. And they're going to be broke as hell, begging for water and food, man. You know, so call on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. He's the only one that can save you, man. With that, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. And peace and mercy to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.